And Salam Malaysia Madani, thanks for joining us. I'm Nurul Zamri and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. In our top stories this evening, Sabah airs its double six crash report declassified. Fertility problems among men in Malaysia alarming. The final report of the investigation into the Sabah airplane crash that killed the then Sabah Chief Minister, Tun Ford Stevens, along with several members of the State Cabinet in 1976, has been declassified and to be made public next week. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the report on the tragedy, which was also dubbed as Double Six, as it occurred on 6 June 1976, has been declassified in accordance with Section 2C of the Offshore Secrets Act 1972, Act 88. He said many questions were raised as the people of Sabah wanted to know the results of the investigation team regarding the accident after a lapse of 47 years.
Pada hari ini, Jemaah Menteri mengambil kira pandangan yang dikemukakan oleh rakyat Sabah selama bertahun-tahun dan juga tuntutan yang dibuat oleh keluarga waris yang menginginkan maklumat terperinci dan ianya selari atau tuntas dengan dasar keterbukaan dan transparansi yang diamalkan oleh kerajaan perpaduan.
The full report on the Sabah air crash will be made public through an official statement from the government and also the Ministry of Transport. In the incident, an Australian-made Nomad 9M-ATZ aircraft operated by Sabah Air carrying the group on its way from Labuan crashed in Sembulan district while approaching Kota Kinabalu International Airport, Sabah. On 8th of March, the media reported that the High Court in Sabah ordered Putrajaya to take the necessary steps to declassify the report on the incident and to make it public. On a separate note, the Prime Minister will be chairing a special meeting regarding the investments of Chinese companies in the country to ensure immediate and effective action is implemented. Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, said the matter was decided in the Cabinet meeting today following the decision of giant Chinese companies to invest in the country. In a post-cabinet media conference, the Prime Minister revealed the first project involving China's 170 billion ringgit worth of investments in Malaysia will kickstart by May this year. Describing the announcement as good news, Datuk Seri Anwar said that the project will be an impetus for more incoming investments.
Sebab itu saya juga merayu supaya kekayaan negeri yang berkaitan dan malih-malih perbandaran harus memastikan proses itu dipercepatkan supaya jangan jadi masalah kepada syarikat-syarikat. Peraturan harus ditentukan, dipatuhi sepenuhnya dan semua kajian-kajian daripada jabatan harus selesai, tetapi janganlah mengambil masa yang terlalu panjang kerana dalam keadaan sekarang kita perlu memacu pelaburan yang lebih rancak.
He said the investment projects from China involving Zhejiang Geely Holdings Group and Rongxing Petrochemical Corporation are expected to start by May at the latest. Geely's investment projects are in Pahang and Tanjung Malim Perak, while Rongxing's projects are in Pengerang, Johor and Terengganu. During Datuk Seri Anwar's recent official visit to China, Malaysia received the highest investment commitment in history, amounting to 170 billion ringgit from Chinese investors as a result of signing of 19 memorandums of understandings between Malaysian and Chinese companies. Artificial intelligence (AI) technology will not reduce job opportunities because it cannot completely replace human workers. In this regard, Deputy Human Resources Minister Mustafa Sakmu said the government is in the midst of producing a skilled workforce to manage and operate AI technology. He said the Skills Development Department had also developed 182 national job skills standards related to the digital field to provide a reference for all training providers, especially technical and vocational education and training TVET institutions, in training the country's skilled talents.
Selain itu, Kementerian Sumber Manusia melalui Jabatan Tenaga Manusia dalam usaha memperkasa pendidikan TVET yang turut menyumbang dalam melaksanakan penyediaan pekerja berkemahiran dalam bidang digital dengan kerja-kerja penyelenggaraan fizikal dan infrastruktur, makmal keselamatan cyber dengan izin cyber security di Institut Latihan Perindustrian Kuala Langat, serta mengadakan program latihan untuk tenaga pengajar dan persijilan profesional kepada tenaga pengajar institusi latihan Jabatan Tenaga Manusia dalam bidang keselamatan cyber.
To increase the youth participation in the digital field, JPK also organised international and youth level skills competitions every year involving the participation of 1,300 youth. Male infertility problems in this country are at an alarming level, the Dewan Negara was told today. Deputy Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Aiman Atira Sabu, said this was based on sperm analysis data from the National Population and Family Development Board LPPKN, which found that 60% of the tests showed abnormal results. She said the problem had directly contributed to the increase of fertility problems in married couples in Malaysia.
Kadar kelahiran kasar di Malaysia telah pun menunjukkan tren penurunan sejak lebih kurang 40 tahun yang lepas, dan kadar kelahiran kasar ini juga berkait rapat dengan kadar kesuburan jumlah. Menurut statistik Jabatan Perangkaan Malaysia (DOSM), TFR negara turut menurun daripada 4.0 pada tahun 1980 kepada 2.1 pada tahun 2010 dan seterusnya menurun pada 1.7 orang anak bagi setiap wanita berkahwin pada tahun 2021.
Elaborating, Aiman Atira said in October last year, the Men Wellness Clinic started operating at the LPPKN Sub-Fertility Clinic in the Federal Capital, and the service will be expanded to 6 other LPPKN clinics in the Peninsula and Sarawak this year. The clinic offers health screening services, consultation for sexual problems and healthy living practices, as well as medical treatment to increase fertility. Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad and Persatuan Syarikat Pengendalian Pelancongan Bumi Putra Malaysia Bumiputera have inked a memorandum of understanding to provide financial solutions for prospective Hajj programs. The bank said the MOU is aimed at prospective Hajj programs who plan to subscribe to the Hajj package via their 22 programs manager companies appointed by Lembaga Tabung Haji. Bank Islam Group Chief Executive Officer Muhammad Muazzam Muhammad said among services include the debit card iBank Islam Visa Tabung Haji, which offers a vast payment network and cash access worldwide.
Menawarkan kepada para jemaah haji terutamanya yang menggunakan kad ini apabila mereka melakukan pengeluaran di tanah suci semasa musim haji, tiada charge yang akan dikenakan. Ini adalah ciri yang unik yang hanya ditawarkan oleh melalui kad ini, ya. Selain daripada itu, Bank Islam juga akan menawarkan kemudahan keuangan kepada agensi-agensi pelancongan yang terbabit.
The bank also launched a campaign once in a lifetime, especially for potential Hajj and next of kin who want to help parents to perform the Hajj by applying for this personal financing with a minimum amount of 50,000 ringgit. The campaign runs from 24th of March till 31st of May and offers a chance to win Umrah package prizes. The National Higher Education Fund Corporation (PTPTN) today declared a 3.05% dividend for the National Education Savings Scheme Simpan SSPN for 2022. Higher Education Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin said the dividend involved an allocation of 266.70 million ringgit, which would benefit around 5.73 million depositors. Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid said since its introduction in 2004, PTPTN has distributed dividends worth 1.33 billion ringgit.
Pemberian dividen 3.05% ini bukan sahaja lebih tinggi berbanding agihan dividen sebanyak 3% pada tahun 2021, malah merupakan kadar berbanding kadar keuntungan simpanan di akaun semasa dan simpanan tetap di sesetengah bank yang menawarkan kadar faedah keuntungan antara hanya 2.05% sehingga 2.75%.
He said this when announcing the Simpan SSBN dividend for 2022 in Putrajaya today. As of 31st December last year, a total of 5.73 million Simpan SSBN accounts had been opened, involving a deposit value of 14.24 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, PTPTN in a statement said that the dividend would be deposited directly into the Simpan SSBN accounts. Depositors can check their respective savings statements online via www.ptptn.gov.my or the My PTPTN application from tomorrow onwards. Coming up, Director charged with offering bribes for Anwar Musa to expedite KL Tower deal. A total of 60 students of the Greek Maktab Rendah Sains Mara MRSM suffered from food poisoning after consuming the ayam masak merah dish during iftar on Sunday. Perak Health, Human Resources, National Integration and Indian Community Affairs School, A. Sivanesan said Form 1 to 5 students experienced stomachache, diarrhea and headache at about 8 p.m. He said none of the students were referred to the nearby hospitals. The Hulu Perak District Health Department, meanwhile, has verified that all students affected received treatment from the District Health's mobile medial team.
Siapa sebenar pengusaha kafeteria? Siapa sebenar penyelia? Macam manakah mereka memeriksa makanan yang dimasak? Jadi ini adalah satu yang serius akan saya bentangkan di Exco, Masyarakat Exco pada hari ini. Dan saya akan minta secara bertulis daripada Jabatan Pendidikan Perak berkaitan dengan apakah tindakan.
Met by reporters today, he said based on interviews with the students, the chicken served had an unpleasant smell and believed that the raw chickens could have been spoiled before cooking. Sivanesan said 10 clinical samples were taken to be analysed. The hostel's canteen has been ordered to be closed for 3 days under the Food Act 1983 for cleaning work. A man drowned when a 10-ton lorry he was driving fell into the sea at the Lombok Maritime Terminal near Mahjong today. Setia Fire and Rescue Station Chief Muhammad Azizi Zakaria said they received a call regarding the incident from the Port Authority at 5:30 a.m. and were assisted by the water rescue unit of the Pulau Pangkor Fire and Rescue Station. He said the victim, identified as Akil Rasidan Rasmi in his 20s, was pulled out of the water at 9:45 a.m. but was declared dead by health personnel. In the incident, a 10-ton lorry fell into the sea at a depth of about 11 meters. Vessels at the port were moved to facilitate the rescue operation. Muhammad Azizi in a statement today said 2 units of cranes at the port were also used in the operation. He said the victim's remains were sent to the Manjung Hospital for postmortem, adding that the operation ended at 10:30 a.m. A father who has been accused of abducting his 3 children and registering them as Muslim converts without his ex-wife's consent was fined 20,000 ringgit by the Kuala Lumpur High Court today for contempt of court. Judge Everall Merid Peters imposed a sentence on Muhammad Nagashwaran Mulyandi, who is the former husband of Loh Siu Hong, and ordered him to pay the fine in the fault of 14-day jail within 14 days starting today. The judge said Muhammad Nagashwaran had interfered with the administration of justice. She made the ruling after allowing Loh's application to initiate committal proceedings against Muhammad Nagashwaran. In the application, Loh claimed that there was a court order that granted her sole custody over her 3 children, a pair of 15-year-old twin girls and an 11-year-old boy on 31st of March 2021, which was violated by her ex-husband. Peters, in her judgment, said the respondent, Muhammad Nagashwaran, was well aware of what he had done and that he had failed to comply with a court order that the petitioner-in-law was awarded sole guardianship custody of care and control of the children. The judge also pointed out that the court must fulfill its responsibilities by passing an appropriate sentence to reflect the extreme seriousness of the case, in particular the respondent's interference with the administration of justice. The court ordered the respondents to pay 6,000 ringgit in costs. Director of Hydro Shop Sdn Bhd, Dato' Abdul Hamid Sheikh Abdul Razak Sheikh was charged at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today for offering 500,000 ringgit a year for 15 years for the benefit of Tan Sri Anwar Musa regarding the takeover of KL Tower concession last year. Dato' Abdul Hamid Sheikh, 49, however, pleaded not guilty and claimed trial for the charge of offering the bribe to Dato' Tan Sri Lay, 60, as an inducement for the then Communications and Multimedia Minister to expedite the takeover process of KL Tower concession by the company. He was alleged to have offered the bribe to Dato' Tan Sri Lay, 60, as an inducement for the then Communications and Multimedia Minister to expedite the takeover process of KL Tower concession by the company. He was alleged to have committed the offence at the Communications and Multimedia Ministry in Putrajaya between July and August 2022. Meanwhile, the company, Hydro Shop, as a commercial organisation, was also charged with committing the same offence with the same intention. Dato' Abdul Hamid also pleaded not guilty and claimed trial on behalf of the company. 2nd of June was set for mention. MACC Deputy Public Prosecutor Mahadi Abdul Jumaat prosecuted, while Dato' Abdul Hamid was represented by lawyer Shuaivi. A mechanic was charged at the Batu Pahat Magistrates Court today with trafficking over 60 kilograms of cannabis last month. Muhammad Burhan Saim, 37, was charged with distributing cannabis weighing 63,120 grams on the roadside of Jalan Kampung Parit Selamat, Mukim 7, Yongpeng at 8:30 p.m. on 26th of March. The charge framed under Section 39B in bracket 1, in bracket A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, and punishable under Section 39B in bracket 2 of the same Act provides a death sentence or life imprisonment and a minimum of 15 strokes of the cane if convicted. The man nodded after the charge was read out to him before Magistrate Siti Zubaidah Mahad. No plea was, however, recorded as the case is under jurisdiction of the High Court. The court fixed 30th of May for mention pending the submission of chemical reports. Coming up in our foreign segment, Israeli forces attack worshippers in Al-Aqsa Mosque. A man who kidnapped a 4-year-old girl in Western Australia and held her captive for 18 days was today sentenced to more than 13 years in prison in a case that has gripped the country. Members of the media today rushed to a police van believed to be carrying 37-year-old Sharon Scully as they arrived at court. Cleo Smith's mother, Ellie Smith, was also seen leaving the court building after the sentencing hearing. Kelly, who pleaded guilty, abducted a sleeping Cleo Smith from a remote campsite in the early hours of 16 October 2021 and then drove her 75 kilometres to his house, where he kept her locked in a bedroom, the court transcript showed. Smith was rescued on 3rd of November after an extensive search led by police and involving land and air crews from logs and CCTV footage. Kelly, a member of Australia's Indigenous or Aboriginal community, will be eligible for parole in 11 years and 6 months. Peter Murrell, the husband of Scotland's former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, was arrested today as part of a police investigation into the finances of the Scottish National Party SNP. Peter Murrell, 58, was the SNP's chief executive for nearly 25 years until he quit last month. In a statement, Police Scotland said they had taken a 58-year-old man into custody for questioning over the party's funding and finances. Officers are also carrying out searches at the number of addresses as part of the investigation, the police force said, without naming the man. The BBC and other media said the man was Marl, who has long faced questions over the alleged disappearance of £600,000 in donations to the party and over a personal loan of more than £100,000. Marl resigned from his SNP leadership posts after the party falsely denied to media that he had lost 30,000 members. The revelation came as it held a better election to replace Sturgeon as leader and first minister. Israeli police have attacked and arrested Palestinian worshippers in a violent dawn raid on the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem. According to witnesses, at least 400 Palestinians were arrested today and remain in Israeli custody. According to Palestinian officials, they are being held at a police station in Atarot in occupied East Jerusalem. Palestinian witnesses said Israeli forces used excessive force, including stun grenades and tear gas, causing suffocation injuries to the worshippers and beatings with batons and rifles. The Palestinian Red Crescent reported there were 12 injuries, including 3 people who were transferred to hospital. It also said in a statement that Israeli forces prevented its medics from reaching Al-Aqsa. The raids continued when Israeli forces were once again seen assaulting and pushing Palestinians out of the mosque compound and preventing them from praying before Israelis were allowed in under police protection. Coming up in sports, Selangor snatched late win against Negeri Sembilan as JDT registered 7th straight victory. It is probably already a foregone conclusion that Johor Darul Takzim would win the Malaysia Super League title once again in 2023 as the defending champions were Perak 5-0 for their 7th consecutive victory in as many matches the Perak Stadium in Ipoh last night. JDT took a 3-0 first half lead, with the first goal coming as early as the 5th minute when Hasnul Zaim Safri put the ball into his own net. In the 25th minute, Leandro Velasquez made it 2-0 for the visitors from the penalty spot before Diego Luis Santos made it 3 in the 45th minute. JDT seemed to have taken its legs off the pedal in the second half but still managed to add 2 more goals through Wilson da Silva in the 66 minutes before Velasquez sealed the 5-0 victory for JDT when he scored through a free kick in the additional time. With the defeat, Perak FC dropped to the 10th spot with 5 points while JDT continued to dominate the league with 21 points. Speaking at a press conference after the match, Perak FC manager Dato' Lim Tiong Kim admitted that the huge gap in terms of players' qualities between his team and JDT was the main reason behind their defeat.
We know from the beginning that JDT is a strong team, right? And the players even know, been told how they play, but yet we make silly mistakes and they scored the goals. Everything that they scored, maybe the free kick was a good goal from. But apart from that, all the move was already told by them.
Meanwhile, JDT head coach Esteban Solari said he was satisfied with the team's performance and that they did a great job.
We are satisfied because we have a game that we knew was gonna be hard, and because we saw many games from their team and they always go tough, and it was not an easy game for us from the beginning. So we tried to be concentrated from the first to score the first goal. That we tried to manage the game. I think we managed well the game. We didn't concede any opportunities to the adversary, and we finished scoring 5 goals. For me, it's very good performance.
At the Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium in Kuala Lumpur's home side, Terengganu also registered a 5-0 win over neighbour Kelantan. Terengganu FC head coach Tomislav Strigbana has also expressed relief that his strikers finally found their scoring touch. Bukna also expressed his happiness at being able to make up for the fans' disappointment with the Turtles' lackluster performance this season. He said that the team was hampered by poor finishing in the previous matches, where they failed to translate many opportunities into goals. Terengganu took the lead in the 50th minute through Jordan Minta before Adisag Person struck the second in the 21st minute. The home side added another 3 goals in the second half through Ivan Mahmoud, who emerged as the team's hero when he scored 2 goals, and Hakimi Abdullah. TFC is now at the 6th spot in the 14-team Super League standings with 10 points from 7 matches. Meanwhile, a late strike by defender Shahrul Nazim Zulpaka saw Selangor edge Negeri Sembilan G1 at the Petaling Jaya City Council MBPJ Stadium last night. The win also saw Selangor move into second spot in the league table behind JDT with 16 points. Playing on home turf, Selangor dominated the early exchanges and had 2 good opportunities to take the lead, but striker Aaron Rodriguez failed to beat Negeri goalkeeper Sik Izhar Nazril Sik Azman on both occasions. Though Selangor continued to dominate, Kate Evans' boys slowly held their footing and even took the lead on stroke of half-time when Negeri Sembilan were awarded a penalty after Richmond Tete Agnar brought down and Selmo Aruda de Silva inside the box. Harold Golden stepped up to finish off the spot kick. Selangor, however, managed to equalise through Muhammad Faisal Abdul Halim's 56-minute strike off a brilliant long pass from Quintin Chang. Selangor, coached by Tan Cheng Ho, scored the winner when Shahrul Nazim headed in a free kick from Yohandri Rozo to ensure all 3 points. All right, that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. In our top stories, Sabah's Air's 66 crash report declassified. We'll leave you with visuals of Uruguay's Kercho festival dedicated to rural traditions, from horseback rodeos to handicraft, textile and artisanal food products. I'm Nur Zamri. Stay tuned to Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.